Brats, I don't know about you, but I can hardly believe it's been nearly 4 years since we got our PSVR at launch. We've had some amazing and great experiences and some stinkers in that time. So let's get in and talk about our top 10 favorite PSVR titles since launch. Shadow Legend is a single-player action-adventure game built exclusively for VR. It takes you back to medieval times where you begin your crusade as the Grand Master of the Knights Templar at a time when the gods of your realm are at war. Shadow Legend only clocks in at 4 to 6 hours, but it does make this list because of the levels of interactivity, the uniqueness of the motion controls for VR, and the amount of things you can do seem endless when you're playing it. The melee combat in the game, and not just the fact that it's such a beautiful game, but the variety of different combat styles and different weapons in the game really breathes extra life into this game. No Man's Sky is a game that we have all known for years in the gaming community, with PlayStation VR support now added and so many other updates constantly dropping to add more gameplay, vehicles, and enemy types. This game is an easy one to recommend for any PlayStation VR fan. Although in need of potentially some more graphical upgrades and PS4 Pro patches, this game still continues to amaze me, as there is no other game quite like it on PlayStation VR with the amount of freedom and ability to customize your environments and what you do with your time. Also, with great multiplayer to hang out with friends, this also just got another update called the Desolation update that adds now enemies, abandoned frigates, and all kinds of other amazing things. Definitely recommend checking out No Man's Sky. Easily one of the most underrated PSVR titles to the top is an amazing parkour game that has you scaling all kinds of amazing levels, environments, and traversing obstacles like no other game on PSVR. This game not only has a single player campaign with tons of levels and goals to achieve faster times, it also has a multiplayer with up to 8 people that can then play together and work together cooperatively to beat these levels even faster. To the top is an easy recommendation because it is not only fun gameplay, it has one of the best soundtracks of any PSVR game I've played, but beware, motion sickness is very possible with this game as it has very intense movement. Commonly known as a Matrix or John Wick simulator, Superhot VR was an early VR title that still holds up now. With both shooter and puzzle elements to it, this game is truly unique in that time only moves when you move. This gives you complete control over your environment and the enemies who are approaching you in it, yet still is very challenging every time you play through it. I highly recommend playing this game while putting Spotify on with your favorite playlist that makes you feel absolutely badass when you play through this game.
You're facing multiple life sentences. Conspiracy, arson, more murders than we could even count. I just want to know what went down there.
Blood and Truth is an action game that was made exclusively for the PlayStation VR. It puts you in the driver's seat of a crazy action movie. You're fighting through the underbelly of London street gangs. Although this game uses point-to-point based movement, you'll quickly forget that because of how gorgeous it is, the gameplay style, the gun mechanics, and a storyline that, although maybe a little tired from all the action movies it's been used in, it is still really fun to live out for yourself. With slightly varied endings and a whole bunch of unlockable game modes, including a rhythm type shooting game, there's tons more playability left even after you finish the campaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was a cold-blooded, premeditated murder.
Wait.
Oh my god. No! Brace for impact. Brace for impact. Brace for impact.
Farpoint strands you on an alien planet trying to find out what has happened to your colleagues who went through a black hole ahead of you. Farpoint is easily one of the games I have spent the most time in playing. With a compelling storyline and a campaign length of around 5 hours, this game really delivers in the additional gameplay once you have beat the campaign. There are full co-opable missions that you can play with a friend that take you through some of the same environments and fight the enemies from the campaign. There's a 1v1 versus mode, where you can face off against other players and use the enemies from the game to your advantage to help you win, and many unlockable weapons that you have to take the time to earn, either grinding out in co-op with a friend or by winning at versus. I cannot recommend this game enough to anyone with a PlayStation VR and an aim controller, as it is one of the best titles that I have the fondest memories of playing in PSVR.
You know who I am?
It's a mad, mad world we live in.
Pistol Whip is an action-packed rhythm game that pits you against enemies, traveling through levels as you are dodging, ducking, shooting to the beat, and pistol whipping your enemies in front of you as they stand. Pistol Whip makes it near the top of the list because it is a title that could only be played and enjoyed through virtual reality. This is not a game that is made to be played flat or to be ported over, but it has to be experienced in virtual reality to see its greatness. It has an awesome soundtrack and really puts you in the role of John Wick as you are shooting enemies all around you and having an absolute blast while you're getting a workout too. Astrobot Rescue Mission is a 3D platformer like none other. It was made exclusively for PlayStation VR and the DualShock 4 controller that is actually tracked and controlled inside of virtual reality with the player. Astro is the cutest little mascot for the PlayStation in general and the PlayStation VR, of course. The attention to detail with the DualShock 4 controller built into this virtual environment is breathtaking. Whether you're shaking Astro off who's gotten stuck to your face mask, blowing on a dandelion to knock its petals off to advance the level, or utilizing your DualShock to aim at enemies or smack one out of the way as it's getting too close to Astro. This is a perfect example of everything that can be done in virtual reality and how it can take something as simple as a 3D platformer to a whole new level. If you haven't already taken the time to check out Astrobot Rescue Mission, at least download Playroom VR, which is an absolutely free application on the PlayStation Store. It had a proof of concept one level from Astrobot that actually is also co-opable to play together with a friend and see a taste of what Astrobot is like before you get the game. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is an amazing feat of virtual reality. It really takes you into the world of The Walking Dead and makes you feel like you are surviving a zombie apocalypse. Built from the ground up for virtual reality, this is one of the most polished and complete games on the PlayStation VR to date. With an engaging plotline, decision-based gameplay, a well-built crafting, inventory management, and exploration system, this feels like one of the most well-rounded games we have on the PlayStation VR. The combat against zombies is extremely satisfying and feels very realistic. If The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners wasn't already on your list, I urge you check this game out and do not miss this title.
Heaven is turned against us, and hell is rising up.
As the PlayStation library keeps growing, it's getting harder and harder to pick a top 10 or even a top 25 games. Here are a few honorable mentions that almost made the list.
Be careful. They'll be looking for you. That house.
But nothing like this. So you got a name, or should I just call you Ghost?
Hang out with your friends in the top-rated VR app. Play games together. Explore hundreds of thousands of player-created rooms. And join the fun for free.
And for our number one pick for top PSVR games, we have Beat Saber. Beat Saber wins the title of top PSVR game for me for many reasons. One, anyone can play Beat Saber. You can hand them the controllers, they can get in and very quickly through the tutorial learn exactly how to play. There's no buttons for them to learn, it's just swing to the rhythm. Number two, it is a game that can only be fully expressed in virtual reality. This could not be played on any other medium and be nearly as powerful as it is. Number three, this has brought VR so much closer to the mainstream. So many people are in VR because of Beat Saber. My dad has bought a virtual reality headset who has never video gamed in his life just to play Beat Saber. And four, Beat Saber is also a great workout. On top of having a really fun time playing a game and really enjoying it, you also get exercise too. So it's destroying the whole myth that gamers can't also be active. There's almost no way you haven't heard of, seen footage, or talked with someone about Beat Saber at this point. But if you still haven't quite gotten it for the PSVR because you're afraid maybe it's not going to be quite as good as if you got it on PC, you're not going to have the same experience. Now with how many songs have been released that you can get, with how well the tracking actually does work on PSVR, it is definitely worth a buy. I would say if you haven't gotten it already, get it now. You will not regret it. So what did you think of this list? Was there some that you think deserved to be in the top 10 that I didn't cite here, or some that are on the top 10 you didn't really care for? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching this video. I will see you in another reality. I want to say the biggest thank you ever to our now 5 patrons: K27, Rocket Sauce 28, Fred Nepotebo, Ege Karatosh, and K Panda K. Thank you so much for helping our channel grow.